Lee, we've come to the end of the week-long training camp here in Portugal. How do you think it's gone?
I think it's gone really well. Yeah, I've thoroughly enjoyed it. Beautiful setting, fantastic venue, and you're looking to build that rapport, and for staff members, players to build rapport with each other, understand how each other work, the way they are motivated, what their little quirks, the idiosyncrasies of their personalities. And when you live with each other like we have effectively for a week, you really get to know that. And I think we've seen the lads in all environments, whether that be initiation, karaoke, or performing very well in the matches.
Yeah, it's obviously the heat here has been blistering. The lads have been doing triple sessions on some days. How have you found the balance between tactical training to make sure that you can get your style of play across, but also that fitness work?
Yeah, I think it's a delicate balance. You want to go into the games fresh enough to be able to perform. But we had fans there, and while you've got fans there, you always want to be able to put on some sort of a show, and I thought the lads did, to be honest, particularly in the second game. Obviously 4 goals, 2 goals conceded as well, but 4 goals scored, and that's the type of impact we want on the performances. And 2 tough games for different reasons, but we've come through them. And we needed to obviously push the boys as well, but we didn't want injuries. So there's always that. It's almost like how far do you stretch an elastic band before it snaps, and like touch wood at the moment, the boys are in good shape. There's 1 running session to do today, and then they'll have 2 days at home with their families and hopefully resting, recuperating before we've got a 4-day lead into the Clyde game.
In terms of the training and the on-the-pitch stuff, what did you want specifically to get out of this training camp?
Well, it was definitely to bed in some key tactical principles, particularly off the ball. I think that was really important. So we probably worked maybe 85% off the ball, 15% on the ball, because we needed to be organised going into competitive games so early. We were challenged in these games that we played, and I think the boys have stood up to it, and I think they've enjoyed it. I honestly do. But they'll be tired now, and again, it's getting that balance, that rejuvenation back into them, and really coming to hit the ground running as of Monday.
Yeah, you mentioned the 2 games, obviously Hartlepool, then Burton Albion, 2 very different games, but 2 equally good tests.
Yeah, Hartlepool, obviously they're a League 2 team, but they've got a new manager, so there's a lot of people trying to impress. Probably need 3 or 4 players, so we maybe caught them in the fact that we could field 2 11s, but at the same time it was a competitive game. I thought the second game was better in terms of our performance against Burton. Obviously I know League 1 football well, I know Jimmy Floyd Hasselback, I know his teams, I know the way they set up, and they're very, very organised, so to score 4 goals against an organised side like that is outstanding, really.
Yeah, and you mentioned obviously the supporters earlier on, just giving the lads that little extra edge on the pitch. It was fantastic to see, wasn't it? Around or just over 100 supporters made the trip out here.
It was, but I think probably 200 got stuck on the night out a couple of nights before and couldn't make it to the game. But yeah, that was really nice. Not just the games, but obviously bumping into supporters, whether it be around the hotel. We did have a staff night out, as you truly know, into Albufeira, where we bumped into a fair few fans really enjoying themselves, and that's what it's about, that connection. We're trying to build that, not disingenuously. We're trying to build it and make it real. Maybe not ideal when I've got 20 cameras in my face singing Sunshine on Leaf, but we had a go.
And you mentioned the new players and learning the quirks of people's personalities. Obviously there has been a fair amount of new faces in the squad this summer. How have you found them, bringing them in with the rest of the lads, and how have they fared in training?
Yeah, they've been good. The new players seem to have integrated really well. I think the starting point of that is the players that were here are really sort of humble lads. You look at the seniors, they're a humble group. We've brought people like David Marshall in, Aidan McGeady. The seniors can really help the young lads feel confident, feel comfortable. But we've also got some very experienced youth players You know, like Jake Bill-Hayes at 22, 23 has had a lot of games now, a lot of experiences. So yeah, I think that, you know, a team hasn't been picked yet, so everybody's fighting for that place, jostling for position, and that's understandable. But at the same time, there's been a nice vibe, and it feels like we're building a half-decent team spirit.
Yeah, and supporters can see from those 2 games that you might have a little bit of a selection headache.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's what you want, really. I suppose that's what I'm paid to do, cope with that selection headache, and that pressure, I think, of managing a big club and managing good players, like, should be the privilege of it all. And I don't shirk that at all. In fact, like, I look to promote that competition, because you have to be concentrated if you know there's a very good player snapping at your heels to get in that starting 11.
Absolutely, and there's just a week or so now until our first competitive game against Clyde. What do you want to see from your players ahead of that one? Is it just making the next step up in terms of fitness and tactical work?
Yeah, just, you know, performance, as simple as that. Like, can we find ways to keep improving the performance? Can we drip feed the information? Can we cope with different styles psychologically? Can we cope with going 1-0 down and come back and win? You know, playing the numbers game in terms of, like, playing the statistics, stay relentless in the way that we want to play, and win our way extremely well. And that's what we're trying to do. That's what we're bedding in. It's been nice that we have won the games, because I think naturally that creates a little bit of buy-in with the lads, and the lads individually have performed very well as well. And yeah, listen, it's been a really good week, but it's all it is really the foundations for the most important time, which is when this season kicks off.
Absolutely, Lee. Thank you for speaking to us.
Thank you.